Good morning, students. Welcome to this 2020-2021 of this academic year. I hope you all are safe and secure at home. You all have been promoted from 6th standard to 7. I'm so happy to take English for you. So today, I want to teach English. English for the first term is divided into three units you have. First unit you have prose poem supplementary, the same for second and for the third. So today I'll be teaching for you from the prose Eidgar. So what is Eidgar? What do you know about this? Have you celebrated any festival? Definitely yes. Each one might have celebrated some festival or the other. Maybe Christmas, Diwali, Ramzan, Bakrid, whatever it is. So today we are going to learn from this prose Eidgar. So in this Eidgar, what it says here it is used in a South Asian Islamic culture for the open air worshipping of God. That's what it says here. So here it says, for an example, Eidgar, how all the people will get together in a big ground or the other, and they will do the prayers to God. They will bow down themselves and they will do prayers unto God. That's what we are going to see in this lesson. So here we have a character. So before I go into that character, I want to say, or I want to give an introduction about the author. Author is Munshi Premchand. He was born on 31st July 1880 and died on October 8, 1936. He is a very famous Indian writer of modern Hindi and Urdu literature. He is one of the most celebrated writers of India and is regarded as one of the foremost Hindi writers of the early 20th century. He is a novel writer, story writer, dramatist. His works includes more than a dozen novels, around 250 short stories, several essays, and he has translated too of a number of foreign literary works into Hindi. So basically he has written many short stories, novels, all that in Hindi and Urdu. So that has been translated to us and they have given this Eidgar lesson. It's very interesting to know. Here we find a little boy, Hamid. He lives with whom? What happened to his parents? Who are his friends? Where does he go? What does he do there? What does he get for his grandma? What love and affection he has for his grandma? All that we are going to see it. I hope, I don't know whether you all have downloaded the textbook or the other, you have it in your hand or not, but I will read the lesson and I will explain to you. So today, this lesson is segregated, divided into three sections, 3 parts. So today we will see first part for right now. So here I want to read. How wonderful and beautiful was the morning of Eid. The trees looked greener, the field more festive. The sky had a lovely pink glow. The sun seemed brighter and more dazzling than before to wish the world a very happy Eid. So this Eid, this festival of Muslims is celebrated. They fast for around 30 days. And on the 30th day, they break the fast. And from morning, usually their fasting is from dawn, from morning to the sunset or to the dusk. So what they do is on the 30th day, they break their fast. And then they celebrate Eid. So here we see how that day is so bright, beautiful. The tree looks greener. It is more, the fields are greenish, and they have the mood of festive, like celebrating the festival. The sky looked lovely, pink glow it has, and the sun seemed brighter. So that means what? The sun is wanting to wish the people of that village. So that's what we see here. So dazzling, what is this? Extremely bright. All these days it would have been somewhat like dull. So on that feast or on that festival day, it says the nature, the sun looked brighter, brightest it looked. Then the village was filled with excitement. Everyone was up early to go to the Eidgah. The boys were more excited than the others. They had been talking about it all the time. Finally, the day had come, and now they were impatient. They were taking the treasure out of their pockets, counting and recounting it before putting it back. Mahmud counted 1, 2, 10, 12. He had 12 coins. Mohsin had 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 15 coins. With this money, they would buy countless things: toys, sweets, paper pipes, rubber balls, and much more. So we see here the entire village was excited. The old people, the younger ones, the little boys and girls, everyone were excited. And on this Eidgah, on this Eve, on this festival, the boys were more excited like never before. They had been saving some money with them. They had it in their pocket. It says here, they were so impatient. They didn't have patience at all. Why? They were wanting to face the festival. They were so eager to face the festival. So it was like whatever they collected money, whatever paisa they collected, it was like a treasure for them. They just kept them in the pocket, like we see. Mahmud counted 1, 2, 10. Finally, he had 12 coins with him. Mohsin had 15 coins with him. With this money, they could buy many things, countless things. So, these few coins was much valuable. They could buy many sweets, more sweets they could buy. They could buy some toys, paper pipes they could buy, rubber balls they could buy, and many more they could buy. The happiest of the boys was Hamid. He was only 4, thin and poorly dressed. Last year his father had died of cholera. His mother also died. From then, Hamid lived with his old granny, Amina, and was happy as a lark. She told him that his father had gone to earn money and that his mother had gone to Allah to get lovely gifts for him. This made Hamid very happy. Hamid had no shoes on his feet. The cap on his head was soiled and tattered. He knew that his father would come back with snacks full of silver and his mother with gifts from Allah. Then he would have more than Mahmoud, Maushin, Noori and Sami. So here we find the happiest boy in that village was Ahmed. Ahmed was 4 years old. Very thin, puny fellow. Poorly dressed, not good dress, not new dress. It was very shabby, not in good condition. Like that, he was dressed. Why? Can you guess why he was dressed like this? Because last year, his father, his dad, his precious one died of cholera. And later his mother also died. From then, Hamid lived with his granny, that is his grandmother Amina. He had a very jolly life, like a bird, lurk, very free. Dad is not there, mom is not there, he is all alone. So his grandma pays lot of attention, gives lot of love and affection for him. So this fellow is very happy to be raised by his grandmother. So here we see, so she tells this little Ahmed, your mother had gone to Allah to buy lovely gifts for you. Your dad has gone to earn money for you. This what she has told her grandson where his father and mother are. So with this, he has fixed in his mind that his father has gone here and his mother has gone to Allah to get lovable gifts. One day or the other, definitely they will return back. This made Hamid very happy. You see the state of this boy. As I said, he was poorly dressed, not good shoes soiled. That means what? It's dirty, tattered, all torn, and so he was in this condition, very poor condition. So he knew his father one day or the other, he will come back with sack full of silver. That means what? Lot of money, lot of valuable things, he will get it. You would have seen sacks. In your house, they will buy 50 kilos of rice. Usually it will be in a gunny sack. So like that, he has a thought in his mind. His father will come with a sack full of silver, and his mother will come with lot of lovable gifts for him from Allah. That's what his intention and he had in his mind. Then he would have more than Mahmoud, Maushin, Noori and Sami. So he had 4 friends. The friends were had 4 friends, as I said. So his intention and his thing was, oh my goodness, definitely I have more than all these 4 friends of mine. I have more than them. That intention he had in his mind. Ahmed's granny, Amina, was sad. It was Eid and she did not have even a handful of grains. If only her son were there, it would have been a different kind of Eid. Ahmed went to his grandmother and said, Granny, I will be the first to get back. Don't worry. Amina was worried. Other boys were going out with their fathers. How could she let him to go to the fair all by himself? So here we see Hamid's, that little boy. This little boy, Hamid, what we find here is, he has been watching all his 4 friends and others in the village. They had been accompanied by their parent, that is their father. They go to that open square, open place to say the prayers. And along with that, where they go for prayer, there, surrounded by that ground, the stalls have been placed. New stalls have been established. They have set up all that as a fair. So what this little children, all his friends, get along with his father and they go out to the fair. So suddenly what this Hamid comes and he tells his granny, that all my friends are going to go with his father to the fair. I'll also go with them and I will return back safely, he says. Then she thinks in her mind that if her father had to be there, understand, definitely he would have taken Hamid to the prayers and to the fair, and it would have been such an entertainment for this little fellow. Understand? So we see that incident in this paragraph. So he says, okay grandma, I will go and I will return back safely. So finally what happened is, he said that, but Ahmed left with other boys. Ahmed was one with wings on his feet. They ran ahead of the elders and waited for them under a tree. They reached the suburbs of the town. On both sides of the roads were big houses of rich. The gardens, mangoes, lychee trees were full of fruits. Then they came across the stores of the sweet vendors, all decorated of galley. Every store had sweets piled up in heaps like mountains. So finally what happened? Grandma gave the permission. He guaranteed her that I will return back safely. So what he did, it was like as though he had wings on his feet. He was so fast. He ran ahead with the elders and waited under a tree. Usually the prayers will be held outskirts, suburbs, outside the village, as I said. So on the both the sides of the road they had a big houses of rich people. How do the rich people's house will be? Usually it will be like a big bungalows, am I right? So they had mango trees, lychee trees, full of fruits, Understand? So he crossed all this and came to the stores. They had surrounded by the prayer ground. They had stores. That means little shops they had. So they had sweets shops where the vendors were selling sweets, and you would have seen sugar-coated sweets. How it will be like sometimes animals characters, animal picture kind sweets will be there, or tree kinds, or sometimes some soldiers, some politician people, or something like that. They would have made that sweet. Understand? So like that he sees the sweets have been piled up like a mountain, heaped up like a mountain. Might be fluorescent color here, dark pink candy sweets here, red color sweets here, yellow color sweets. Like that, it was all full of colorful. Gaily means in bright colors. Understand? So the shops, sweets were with bright colors. Soon the roads began to get crowded. Some people were on tongas and ekkas, some in motor cars, all wearing perfume, all bursting with excitement. The children were a calm and contented lot. For village children, everything in the town was wonderful. Whatever caught their eye, they stood and gaped at it with wonder. At last, the Eidgah came into view. They were row upon row of worshippers as far as the eye could see. Newcomers lined themselves behind the ones already there. So we see here, in this paragraph we see, the roads began crowded. That means what? Rush on the road. The whole entire village people started moving. The men, the little ones, all the people started moving towards the ground. For what? To say the namaz, to say the prayers. They started moving towards the ground. Where is the ground? It is suburbs, outskirts of the village. So some people had to travel. Might be the old ones could not walk. What they did? They hired tongas, that is horse cart of modern days, and ekkas, that was horse cart of olden days, where the wooden wheels used to be there, and they used to go on that horse cart. They used to ride that. Understand? They used to ride on that and go to the prayer place. So some went on motor cars. Some, you would have seen, usually when we go to the temples or to church or for mosque, usually what we do, we wear some nice good clothes, and on the festival time we spray the perfumes. Rich smell you get. Understand? Strong perfume smell you get. So that's what they applied. They sprayed perfumes, bursted with excitement, cherished smiles on their faces. The children were calm and contented lot. Understand? They were, the whole festive mood was filled on their face. People could see the festive things on their face. For the village children, everything in the town was wonderful. So when from village to town, when you go, you see the town modernized, something different than the village. You won't find a farm there, or some hut houses, all that you don't find. You see some modernized houses, nice shops, nice fancy clothes and all that. That atmosphere will be totally different. So the children were really excited to go to that place. And their eyes, what happened? Gaped. That means they stared at whatever was their wonder with look they had to see. At last the Eidgah came into view. So finally the prayer place, as I said, came into view. Every could see that all the people who worshipped every year, those who go for saying prayers, all those people, they lined up in the first few lines, and at the last the newcomers were already there. So it was all, they were all on the knees to worship God. The prayer was over. Men embraced each other. They descended on the street, and toy vendors, stores like an army moving to attack. There was the merry-go-round, the wooden elephants, horses and camels. You paid 1 paisa and had 25 paisa round and 25 rounds of fun. Mahmud and Monish and Nori and other boys mounted their horses and camels. So here finally the prayer was over. Each one what they did, they usually what we do, other festivals we shake our hands or we say namaste or we wish like this. So Muslim festivals, they hug each other and what they do, they wish those people, understand? So like that they embraced each other and they started wishing. And after wishing, what these little fellows and their father, whoever went to that Eidgah, what they did is they started moving towards the candy shops, towards the stores which were there. So there they could see stores like moving, army moving to attack. Like that means what? All the shops had soldier kind of a sweet, milkmaid kind of a sweet, and all different ones. Water carriers, holy men, like that different personality characters of sweets were piled up heaped up in each shop. So everyone wanted to have a fun on the merry-go-round and all that. So we see here it is, so the boys, you had to pay 1 paisa for 25 rounds of a merry-go-round. Merry-go-round you would have seen in exhibition. They will have a big giant wheel and they will have Columbus. Merry-go-rounds is with some different animals, understand? Each like elephant, tiger, like that, deer, all different animals will be there. Horse, you will sit on that and it will go round and round. So for 1 paisa, 25 rounds they will go around. So with all these fellows, they started with his friends. Amit's friends, all these boys and other boys in the village, they started going on a merry-go-round. 1 paisa if you pay, you can go for 25 rounds. So here we see how Amit was. Amit watched them from a distance. All he had were 3 paisas. He couldn't part with a third of his treasure for a few miserable rounds. They were soon done with their rides. Then it was time for the toys. There was a row of stalls on one side with all kinds of toys. Soldiers, milkmaids, kings, ministers, water carriers and washerwomen and holy men. So this little 4 years boy, Hamid, puny, thin, poorly dressed, he's been watching this from a distance. What are the other people are doing? How they are spending their money? Why he was watching that? Because he had only 3 paisas. But others had lot of money. They are going on a merry-go-round, they are buying that, they are buying this, whatever they are seeing, they are getting everything. But this fellow was seated in a far place, just observing. Understand? So we see here, he's been observing, and because he had only 3 paisa, he couldn't buy anything. Just for 1 paisa, 24 rounds, within a fraction of second, within few minutes, that rounds will be over. 1 paisa he will miss. So he didn't want to go into that. He was wanting to spend that money in a correct manner. He was wanting to get something valuable. He knew the value of the money. Why? Because he didn't have father, he didn't have mother. Because of that, his grandma was raising. How painful, how difficult situation that fellow would have gone through. Understand? So he had safeguarded his 3 paisa to buy something useful. Understand? That's why he didn't get all this. But as I said, all different characters like milkmaid, ministers, kings, water carriers, washerwomen, holy men, like that the stalls had different character kinds of candies in the shop. Mahmud brought a policeman in khaki with a red turban on his head and a gun on his shoulder. Maunish bought a water carrier while Noore got a lawyer. These toys cost 2 paisa each. Amit had only 3 paisas. How could he buy such expensive toys? If they dropped out his hands, they would be smashed to bits. If a drop of water fell on them, the color would run. But he looked at them angrily and wished he could hold them in his hands for just a moment or two. All the toys, it was sweets. Someone bought sesame seeds candy, others gulab jamuns or alwa. They smacked their lips with relish. Only Ahmed was left out. So in this paragraph, we see here Muhammad bought, what he bought? Policeman dressed in khaki color with turban, red turban on his head, and he had a gun in his shoulder. So next we see Maunish bought a water carrier. Noori bought a lawyer. Those toys cost how much? 2 paisa each. First I said 1 paisa for one paisa for 25 merry-go-rounds. Here 2 paisa for all these toys. His friends bought it, but he never did that work. Why? He had only 3 paisas with him. He never wanted to spend on that. See, for an example, if you pour water on those sweets, what will happen? All the pink color will what? Wash out. And if you, by mistake, if you drop those candy sweets from your hand, what will happen? Definitely it will break into pieces. So 2 paisa is utterly waste. So in that sense, this little fellow thought in his mind. Okay. But he could see lot of sweets in that shops. Someone bought sesame seed candies, gulab jamuns, alwas, all that. But they smacked their lips with relish. That means what? They were wanting that sweets. Okay, open and close lips noisily to show enjoyment. Like that, they opened their mouth, lips, as soon as they saw that sweets. Understand? So these sweets were so enjoyable for those boys. But only in this group, Hamid was left out. He didn't buy anything. He just kept seeing what the others were doing it. Next to the sweet shops, there was a few hardware stores and jewelry shops. After all the candy shops and all, he saw some what? Hardware shops and jewelry. You buy bangles, chain, earrings, finger ring, all those ones, hairpin, all those, rubber bands, all those. He just saw everything, those shops. The boys were not interested in anything there, so they walked ahead except Hamid. It occurred to Hamid that his granny did not have a pair of tongs. Each time she cooked chapatis, the iron pan burnt her hands. If he bought her a pair of tongs, she would be very pleased. She would never burn again her fingers. It would be a really useful thing to have in the house. So Hamid stopped to look at a pile of tongs at the hardware shop and asked the shopkeeper, "How much for this pair of tongs?" The shopkeeper looked at him and replied, "It's not for you." Imagine this 4 little boy. He had only 3 paisas with him. All others bought all the sweets and everything. This fellow was just observing from a far distance. He didn't buy anything. Then next, after all the candy shops, he sees there, what shops? Hardware stores and jewelry shops. So as his friends saw that, and they just kept moving. They went ahead. But this Hamid just stopped there. Why? He loved his grandma from his bottom of his heart. He was wanting to buy something for his grandma. That intention he had in his mind. That's why what he did is, he just stopped near the hardware shop. And he just saw a pair of tongs. That means what? It will be like this. Understand? 2 sides steel things will be there. You can just pick up hot chapatis or puppets or whatever you want. You can just pick up with that pair of tongs. Understand? Tongs. So that's what he was wanting to buy his grandma. Because whenever she prepares chapati for him, she gets burnt in her hand. So by seeing that, he had in his mind that he should buy her something like that which is useful for her, which shouldn't harm her while cooking. So that's what he bought for her. Understand? So this thing will not burn her hand. This will be very useful for her, and she can definitely use this, and she can be away from those burning things while cooking or preparing chapatis. Understand? So he stopped near the hardware shop. He got that. He asked the shopkeeper first. Then when he asked, usually when a 4-year boy goes and asks, what will the shopkeeper say? What is this fellow? Instead of buying so many candies and other things, eatables and all, he is not buying that. What is wrong with him? He is getting this. What is he going to do with this? Like that shopkeeper had in his mind. He just thought like that. But this fellow was very wise. He had a good thing in him, something he was wanting to do for his grandma. So he asked, is it for a sale or not? Why should it not be for a sale? It will cost you 6 paisa. Hamid's heart sank. Tell me the correct price, he said. all right, it will be 5 paisa. Take it or leave it. So there is a conversation between the shopkeeper, hardware shopkeeper, and the little boy, Hamid. So he asked her, is it for sale? Definitely it is for sale. The shopkeeper replies to him, what is the cost? He says 6 paisa. When he said 6 paisa, what happened to his Hamid's heart? Just sank like that. Understand? Why? It was not affordable to buy it because it cost 6 paisa. Finally, he gives him a chance. Okay, never mind. Pay 5 paisa and get it. 5 paisa is not affordable to get that. Why? Because he had 3 paisa with him. He crossed everything. He didn't go on a merry-go-round. He didn't buy any candies. He just kept the 3 paisa with him. Then finally, when he was wanting to buy this tongs for his granny, it cost 6 paisa. By making it less, the shopkeeper said, I'll give it for 5 paisa. So what he does here is, you can see what Hamid is going to do there. Hamid said, will you give it for me for 3? Then he walked away, afraid the shopkeeper would scream at him. But the shopkeeper did not scream. On the contrary, he called Hamid back and gave him the pair of tongs. Hamid carried it on his shoulder as if it were a gun to show it to his friends. Mohsin laughed and said, are you crazy? What will you do with the tongs? Hamid flung the tongs on the ground and replied, try and throw your water carrier on the ground. It will break. So, this little 4-year boy, Hamid, what he did? He was so nervous. He was so scared. Why he was so scared? He had only 3 paisas. He is saying 6 paisa. From then, he has come up to 5 paisa. Final rate is 5 paisa. You get it or not? So this fellow, what he did? He was so scared. He left everything and he said, will you give it for 3 paisa? And he just walked off. Understand? Where this shopkeeper will shout at him. But the shopkeeper, what he did? He called him and gave it for 3 paisa. So this fellow, what he did? He carried it on the tongs. He carried it on his shoulder and walked as though he was carrying a gun. He walked straight to his friends. Who are his friends? All these 4 fellows. Understand? He walked there. When he walked towards his friends, the Mohsin laughed and said, hey, what man? Are you crazy? What did you do with these tongs? What are you going to do with this? Then Hamid got so annoyed, angry, and he just flung the tongs on the ground. What happened? It did not break. Why? It was made of iron. Understand? It did not break. So he gives a challenge to his friends. Come on, man. You throw your water carrier on the ground. What will happen? Definitely it will break. This was the challenge which he posed to his friend Mohsin. Muhammad said, are these tongs some kind of toys? So again his another friend asked him, what is this? Tongs? Is it some kind of a toys? Do you play with this? What are you going to do with this? Like that he asked some questions to this little Ahmed. Why not? Replied Hamid. Place them across your shoulders and it is a gun. Carry them in your hands and it is like a musical instrument carried by singing monks. White tongs are like a tiger among toys. Sammy, who had bought a small tambourine, asked, will you exchange them for my tambourine? It is worth 8 paisas. But Ahmed would not. The pair of tongs won everyone over to its side. By 11, the village was again filled with excitement. All those who had gone to the fair were back at home. Ahmed too returned home. As soon as she heard his voice, Granny Amina ran out to the house, picked up him and kissed him. Suddenly she noticed the tongs in his hand. Where did you find these tongs? I bought them. How much did you pay for them? 3 paisas. You are a stupid child. It is almost noon and you haven't had anything to eat or drink. Could you find anything better in the fair than this pair of iron tongs? Ahmed replied in an injured tone. You burn your fingers on the iron pan, so I bought them. Granny was deeply moved by Ahmed's selflessness. She started crying. For the wretched woman, the pair of tongs was as precious as sacks of silver. So we see here, as I said, so he got, now this Muhammad asked, what kind of toy is this tongs? So he says, why not, he replies to all that and all. Then there is another person, understand, Sammy, that is the first friend, what he did, he made fun, understand, he said, okay, I will throw it on the ground, it will definitely break or not, we can see it. Second one, what he did, he asked him, it will break or not, again the second one asked him. The third one bought something and that fellow also made fun of him. Finally, the fourth, Sammy, what he did is, he had bought a tambourine, that is, it is a round kind with all those sounding things will be there, iron pieces, which you can do for prayers, you can play with that, understand, that instrument is called as tambourine, understand. So that he has, so that Sammy says, can we both, he asked Ahmed, can we both exchange it? Because it costs 8 paisa and yours is only 3 paisa, can we exchange it? But Ahmed says, no, I am not going to exchange it. This tongs is very precious for me. He had in his mind only grandma, he had the thought only of his grandma because he was wanting to give that to her as a lovable gift. So with that, what happened? So he says to his friend Sammy, no, I can't exchange, I will not exchange with that tambourine with you, understand? So finally he goes home, this little Ahmed goes home. So this granny sees her and he asks, what is this? You have tongs in your hand, how much it is, why did you buy all this? What a stupid child you are, why did you buy this? Are you silly? Why did you buy this? She asked him a question. Then he says, Granny, usually when you make chapati, you burn your hand. Understand? So to see that, it is so painful for me. That's why I bought you tongs. So with this, you can, without burning your hands, you can make what? Soft, delicious, good chapatis for me. Then this made that granny very happy. She was really deeply moved by Ahmed's selflessness. She started crying. Understand? She bursted out with a love towards the grandson, what he has bought for her. Understand? The sad woman, the miserable condition of that old granny made into a brighter thing. Understand? Why? Because of this precious tongs which he bought for his grandma. Understand? So it was like as though more than a what? The pair of tongs was a precious as sacks of silver. You see how costly silvers are. Understand? So, sack full of silver is so costly, precious, valuable. So, it is more than that. It is equal to that. That's what she says. Understand? So, finally, we see in this lesson the love between the grandson and the granny, how it made both of them as one. Understand? Do you love your grandparents at home? Definitely, you should love them. Cherish them. Don't give any problem to them. Understand? Okay, thank you.